Hello everyone, just before the 61st anniversary, we finally have the 60th anniversary special edition Blu-ray set of Bewitched, the complete series from Millcreek. A release that I've been looking forward to for a long time since it has had numerous delays. It was originally supposed to come out almost a full year ago. No real explanation of the delays, but here we finally have this complete series set from Millcreek. I'm going to do a quick unboxing of this and then do a bit of a buying guide because there are lots of options for Bewitched on Blu-ray, and I'll talk about the DVDs as well at the end, and why I think that this is actually a necessary release. Let's go ahead and open this before we get into it. We have the outer box, which is not quite as thick or hardy as I would hope. You know, some of the other Millcreek releases in the past have had more of a hard case release. Sometimes it's more this. So we have the outer box there, and the booklet. Lots of nice photos and information, and be fun to look through. So a nice extra for this box set, as well as an episode guide for the entire series. And then we have this case, which has, you know, people who love it and hate it, and I'll get into why, you know, this style of case does have its merits, even though it does have some drawbacks as well. A bunch of pictures on the back. And open up, there should be a very familiar design now these days for Blu-rays and DVDs, with this sort of kind of book style casing with the pages and discs stacked just a few deep, not too bad. Just kind of a way of having lots of discs in a small space. 22 discs for the entire series, a bunch of audio commentaries as well, and a mini documentary, some new audio commentaries, and looks like it's an average of 10 episodes per disc. So obviously there's going to be a lot of compression to get all those episodes to fit on each disc. But now I'm going to go and watch a few episodes just here or there from different seasons, and then we'll get into the drawbacks, a couple of them pretty major, for this release in comparison to the Imprint releases, these collector's editions, but why they both are releases that I'm happy are out there, and they serve very different purposes. So let's get into the overall quality of this set. I mean, for what it is actually packaged, you know, fairly well. We'll get into the comparison with Imprint, and the actual quality of the presentation. As far as the sound, the picture quality, it is a step up from the older DVDs, both the Millcreek and the older Sony DVDs, which are overall superior to the later Millcreek ones. But so it is a noticeable step up, especially in the clarity of the picture, more so in the later color. It's more noticeable in comparison to the DVDs, but it is nowhere near, partially from the compression. There's so many episodes per disc, the quality presented in the Imprint releases. They are clearly superior. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, and the black and white for seasons 1 and 2 look just spectacular on these. So yeah, overall this is nowhere near the quality level of the Imprint release. And there is the big elephant in the room, one where, I mean, could Millcreek actually be in some legal trouble here for false advertising? Because again, this set, you know, I've had it pre-ordered for well over a year, and in the advertisement, you know, as things are coming out and as images are being released, and even on the back of the actual box, it advertises that it is in full frame, 1.33 to 1, and it's not. It has actually been cropped for widescreen for more modern TVs, but it doesn't say that. So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to buy this with that expectation that are going to be furious. Yeah, that's a huge disappointment, and I don't know how they let that go through, but Yeah, not everyone's going to care about that, but the people who, I mean, that is a big problem when you're advertising a certain aspect ratio and it's not what the actual product shows. That's a big deal. So that's the big elephant in the room that is big there. While the Imprint, again, obviously in every way is superior and has everything in the original aspect ratio. The packaging, of course, I've done unboxings for the sets that have been released so far. The packaging, I mean, it blows the Millcreek one out of the water, of course. It's big hard cases, nice hardcover booklet. There are fewer episodes, per disc, so there's a ton more discs. Look at this set just for seasons 1 and 2. So if you're overall a huge Bewitched fan and you are just looking for the overall quality of the release, that's all you care about, no other aspect of the buying decision, you just want the best possible, go with the Imprint. There is no question that it's not even close. But it's not really supposed to be close. Before these were even coming out, it was obvious what the difference was going to be, because these are targeting two completely different markets, and I am overjoyed that they both exist, because anything that spreads the love of one of my all-time favorite shows is fantastic, and I'm very happy that two very different aspects of the market are being served with these releases, and it's not leaving anyone out, so more people are going to be more likely to pick up and watch Bewitched. The Millcreek set is targeting your average consumer. It is targeting the more casual fan of Bewitched and is going to appeal to a far wider audience than the Imprint sets, which are very much exclusively for collectors and mega fans of Bewitched. That is the target demographic. It's totally different, not only because of the quality difference, but you also have to also factor in that this set, with all 8 seasons, is a tiny bit taller, but overall much smaller than the Imprint set of just seasons 1 and 2 by itself. So already one factor, space. That's going to be much more appealing to a lot of other people. And price. This set, depending on where you grabbed it, saw a couple different price variations, but was selling for brand new pre-order between $70 and $80 for all 8 seasons in one box set that's smaller than just 2 seasons from Imprint. And that's all 8 seasons for less than a year subscription of Netflix, and that's all 8 seasons for half the price when they were first coming out of 2 seasons for the Imprint. So that is a major factor. So the average consumer, most people are going to look at these two in comparison and say, look, obviously the aspect ratio is incorrect, but they're used to watching things in widescreen or on the widescreen television. Obviously, the quality is not quite as good as the Imprint, but it is a step up from the DVDs, a marginal step up, but it is a step up from the DVDs. They can get this for very cheap, like less than $10 a season, and it's all in one compact package. And there are a lot of people who are going to like that there's a lot of episodes per disc, you don't have to change it very often. So they are targeting two completely different consumers. And I'm happy that they both exist for that reason. So definitely the Imprint is the way to go if you are a collector or you really want just the best of the best. But for the average consumer, I think this is going to be the more popular option. Now, if you don't have a Blu-ray player or you really have no interest in investing in Blu-ray, I know there are a lot of people out there like that. A huge number of consumers are still more just with DVD. DVD is still the more dominant format, particularly in the used market. In the secondary market, it's not even remotely close. So for DVD, you have lots of different options, which has been released pretty much all over the world, including DVDs from Germany and ones from Japan. But in North America, the primary audience for this channel that I'm going to be getting, you really have two options, the Sony DVDs or the Millcreek DVDs, and they come in different variations. For Sony, you have this big complete series box set. This one is nice, but the packaging is a little more cumbersome. It's not the most friendly as far as just ease of use. And this box set over time has become a little more expensive. You can see here it's just two giant stacks of discs with that cardboard, so it's really not the most friendly as far as just daily use and watching it, even though the packaging is beautiful. It's a cool, really cool set. Sony also released the episodes with individual season releases, and both season 1 and 2 they released in two different variations, both the original black and white or the colorized editions. And overall, I do think that the Sony DVDs are a little better as far as the picture quality, but you have to factor in, of course, the aspect of just price, availability, and space. And in that regard, Millcreek edges them out, because Millcreek has had multiple variations of the individual releases. Here is the black and white season 1, also released in color, so they released all the seasons individually like Sony, but smaller cases, as the Sony, each one comes with an outer case and then two volumes within, and Millcreek is a little more of a standard case. And to save even more room, the exact same discs and everything, Millcreek re-released them all in two season packs. So season 1 and 2, then season 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8 in a similar set. And probably the just downright cheapest way to get a copy of Bewitched in full on any format is the Millcreek Bewitched Complete Series DVD box set. It is the cheapest packaging of the bunch by far, but if you just want to grab a cheap copy of the show, you're not like a mega fan, you're just kind of a casual fan, you just want a copy on DVD to throw in every once in a while and watch and enjoy, this is super cheap to grab. Again, everything about it is like the cheapest possible, but you can grab the complete series brand new for like $40 with this set. Sometimes even less, or if you want to buy used, I'd be shocked if you could find a copy more expensive than $15 used for that. So lots of different options out there. If you're sticking with DVD, again, Millcreek is the option for something a little cheaper. Just want to kind of have a copy of the show to throw on every once in a while. The Sony is a little bit more of a step up, but a very slight increase in cost and space. And the Blu-rays, of course, again, these are serving very different audiences. If you really just want quality, you don't care about the overall price or the space that it takes up, go with these Imprint releases. They are fantastic. Again, I have unboxings of these on the channel as well, but if you do want Blu-ray rather than DVD, and you just want a copy of the show, it doesn't take up a lot of room, doesn't really break the bank, there's nothing wrong with this Millcreek release. It definitely has the major issue of the aspect ratio, which is a huge disappointment, but a lot of, again, casual consumers really aren't going to notice. I know sometimes it can be hard, even for myself, to kind of remove yourself from that box of being either a real collector or a big classic TV fan. I'm a huge fan of classic TV. I probably watch more 60s TV than any other decade, but the average, it's hard to think outside that box to just the average Joe walking around, and I think for most people this is going to end up being the most appealing.